What up, fanatics? It's the A to the J. Y'all know how we do. We don't bring y'all anything but the best. And you guys have heard this man, but I need y'all to know who this man is. This is fan family here. He don't need no long introduction. Let's bring on Warren, the man himself.
How's it going, man? How you doing?
How you been?
Good, man. Just busy. Work, family. Finally back
Yeah,
to realizing, hey, I live in Florida again. The weather's nice, so it's not too bad right now. How about yourself?
okay. Mm. Yeah, the weather in Virginia's been kind of crazy too. So I feel you.
All right.
Bruh, I see you out there killing it on the podcast, man.
Hey,
I'm a fan. I'm a
man, I
fan.
appreciate it, man. I'm just now getting back to like getting more repetitive and continuous with it. Obviously, the backstory with my son and stuff like that. We've been really occupied this year, just as a whole, with Matthew being in and out of a hospital with his back infusion. My son had back infusion
Yeah, I'm
surgery in
sorry about
October,
that.
so that kind of took a full attention span for just on that scenario. So I usually am on break around April and May, but I think we're going to continuously going on. So I guess I've been back and forth if I'm going to take a break this summer or not, just due to everything that's been going on. But I mean, I think I took the break when he was in the hospital and stuff. So we're not really going to take a break this go around. We're definitely going to just keep rolling. So I appreciate that, man, because
Okay.
I just recording, going. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. The side things that I do, obviously with the pro wrestling background, I'm trying to stay busy with that as well. We obviously got to be the family man. You got to do all those little things too. So I mean, it's been a wild ride this year so far.
Absolutely. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Let me catch you up. So I am now a producer of 4 podcasts.
Hmm.
Okay.
Congrats on that.
I am also a established graduate comedian from the Funny Bone. So I've been doing that comedy thing, going out there, hitting the clubs and everything, hitting
Hitting
online,
them
whatever I
tools,
can do to get a gig. So I absolutely understand. Plus, as you know, I'm a family man myself.
Mhm.
You know,
So how is that? So how is the
I've got
comedy
8
realm
that are
going?
looking at me going, "Give me money." So gotta get out there and hustle. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I've been watching your stuff, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, man, I wouldn't be doing it if I don't enjoy it.
So for those who didn't get an opportunity to agree,
What's that?
for those who didn't get an opportunity to see when the last time you and I spoke, tell everybody
Mhm.
who you are, where you are, and what you do.
All right, man. If no one knows, I'm Warren Marlowe, father, husband. I have a child that's slightly autistic. I have a daughter, 5 years old. She's probably the reason why I got gray hair right now. Um, I also was a pro wrestler, and I can't say was anymore because I'm actually in back in the ring and stuff like that. So I think the last time I was here, I was still in that I'm never going to be back in the ring mindset. And I just officially hit a year, just going on this week, that I've been back in the pro wrestling ring. If you don't know the character American Prodigy, um, everyone knows him as the American Deadpool. All these little
Look them up.
monikers I get with it. He's around. He's around, definitely. We've been having fun with that as well, but just doing podcasting, man. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Started podcasting around the COVID era. I think like everybody else, got tired of the BS news that you get on TV, straight reruns all the time. And I was like, hey, man, I've been really curious about this for a while. And the way I got into podcasting was from pro wrestling. I used to listen to, Jim Cornette, Chris Jericho, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bruce Pritchard, JR. I mean, just countless guys that had wrestling podcasts. And that's how I connected in the wrestling realm with it, because I felt like it gave me that mindset. It was like, hey, man, I know I'm not where they are, but this is where they did to start. And that made me have that driven mindset and be like, okay, man, it's only like this temporary, guys. I mean, we've got it so much better than what they did in the independents back then. I mean, if anybody doesn't know, man, them boys were doing what they were doing for like 10 to 15 bucks a night. And they're going 8 to 10 hours a day on a road to get that money. Like, I know for a fact, if that was the way it is now, I would never be in a ring for $8 to $10 for that type of travel or anything like that. But just seeing the whole perspective of it, and then obviously when I got hurt, I had to stop wrestling for a while due to a neck injury and a concussion protocol. The main reason why I realized to stop is because I had what I said, my 5-year-old. She was a newborn at the time, and where you can't hold your newborn because you are completely stiff in the neck, and where you can't even move your arms fully for like 5 days straight, you start having a mindset going, all right, man, there needs to be a change to this. And I usually refuse to go to the doctor. Went to the doctor and got what I did not want to hear. And so my wife, with no hesitation, told me I'm done. And as long story short, did the podcasting. I stayed away from the wrestling talk for the longest, as much as I could. And then I got on one particular podcast with my buddy Blackheart, Shiz Blansky, from the OTTR over Off the Top Ropes podcast. And he basically got me back into the pro wrestling talk, just talking about, from my past character, from the past privileges, the achievements and stuff I had in my wrestling realm at the short end time that I had. I wrestled for 5 years, but I mean, I did a lot in that 5 years. Had a lot of cool things that happened. Now, is there some stuff I would have took back and made more of a moment out of it? Definitely. But got in with him, connected with another wrestling podcast, the 1130 podcast. Shout out to DeAndre Cherry, Dre on Wheels from the 1130. And we decided we were going to do a collab for the Commission Talks. And just to say, Commission Talks got me really contemplating being back as an American Prodigy. And we went 2 years to where I felt healthy as can be, but I did not. When people say that they know they can't wrestle again due to their neck, is the fact that it's not that they can't do it. It's what you got to do to get yourself back into it. And when I messed my neck up, I remember a workout for me is not the normal workout I was so used to. I mean, lifting weights, lifting a good amount of weight, pressing it, you've got a good PR, stuff like that, to where you're basically doing this like it's a bicep curl, like you're curling 40-pound weight. That's what really struck me and made me realize, like, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to do what I had to do for that. But the reality check was that my wife laughs about it. I was in the bathroom because I have always been very, very lean. I have had a nice figure since 15 years old. So when I went into the bathroom and I pinched myself and I felt a little of a not the normal that I'm used to, shut it down, said, all right, we're going to change this. I keep talking about everyone saying, hey, man, you just got to show up. I really was my character that I actually not even a character. I was really what I said I was in the podcast, because at that time, I mean, obviously I'm just doing audio recording, so I didn't have to be on a camera for a lot of people to see me and stuff like that. And I just literally just like, all right, it's time to really be who I am. And I got into the gym strictly for a straight year. It was the toughest I have ever had to deal with, because like I said, man, me lifting my arms was a workout. That was a tough thing for me to encounter, because 15 minutes, it felt like 2 hours doing these things. And I did it for a whole year, trying to get myself processed. When I got to do bench press again, when I got to do the little things again. There's some things that I still I'm very hesitant on, especially now getting back in the ring with this. But I went to the exact same doctor that told me that, hey, you could die at a very young age if you continue this to go. To where we went to the doctor, they looked at me and said, dude, you don't even look like you got hurt before. And that struck me differently. And of course, in the podcast standpoint, we had this ongoing thing for about 3 or 4 months. And I had a 100th episode coming up. And I was sitting there brainstorming like what we were going to do with this 100th episode. I've watched so many other podcasts. I've watched so many different 100 episodes. I mean, obviously, it's a throwback. You watch all the past episodes, something like that. Well, I had this particular guy. If anybody doesn't know, his name's El Nino. And we had a pretty, well, he was pretty mouthy on social media. Let's just put it that way. I never responded back because I'm just sitting there thinking like, okay, it's just a guy trying to get publicity out of it. Cool, whatever. So he said one particular thing, and I individually messaged him. I said, I hear you. Are you free for such and such time? If you can sell this out, tell me what you're wanting out of this purpose. We could think of something. The plan was at first was I was just going to do a little show up at an independent show, do like that celebrity mantra, like, hey, I got to be the strong one out of it. And that was it. Well, when I went to the doctor and I got cleared, we went more in depth with it. And needless to say, I didn't tell him that I was cleared. I didn't tell him anything what was going on. But I told him literally this, and this is the only thing I told him. I said, I want you to think about these ideas. So I put it in parts. I said, all right, what do you think about this, this, and this? He said he liked it, but he doesn't know how that was going to transition. I said, let me take control of it, and we'll have some fun with it.
Right.
And that's all he knew. So needless to say, if you haven't watched the 100 episode, highly recommend you to watch it. It's one of our highest viewed episodes. Actually, last week's episode is almost about to beat that record right now. But we had some fun.
Absolutely.
And I treated this guest like no other guest I've ever done. I muted the guy's microphone. I kicked him in and out of this episode. I played with it for a whole 2 hours. And then the one particular thing he kept asking was, I want to face you so I can retire you. And we teased it again. We played with it. And then he even messaged, he's like, are you going to give an answer? Like, he was getting frustrated on the behind the scenes standpoint. So this is where I knew I was doing my part. He was getting frustrated, but he's like, this is super good. And needless to say, at the very end of the episode, I just put my mask on and said, you got it. And that's what ended the whole thing. And it was even funnier. I ended the season that day with it as well. So we went a whole summer where it was just the Easter egg. I accepted this. You're not hearing anything else from me until when we come back for season 5. And people literally like dialed in, like trying to figure out what's going on. And for season 4, our first episode jumped. And I sat there and was like, we left them at such a good cliffhanger. Yeah. And then what we did, and then what season 4 was, what the purpose of it was basically, I wanted to tease a little bit of our feud, but we were going for a long storytelling. I wasn't just going to do a one match and that's it, but we wanted to make it build to like, oh, I wanted people to really believe like, oh, wow, independent promotions really didn't want this match. The backstory is a lot of promotions wanted this match. I kept saying I wanted it at a perfect time. I wanted it at a certain venue. I wanted a different thing because I wanted this thing to be built as one thing that the independents has never been able to do. You're doing something, this whole feud was built off of a podcast, but we're still making it as it is still a legitimate podcast where I have guests on to talk their story, whatever. But my stint was we were going to play with a little bit of the feud, just put it in a little bit of the episode, give you a teaser, and then go straight into the episode like it was a normal thing for season 4. And people were dialed in that whole season from it, the whole transcript to where we built up a battle royal. If anybody knows what pro wrestling standpoint is, battle royals are the laughable matches. We played that thing off so good. People were so invested in just a battle royal. So that was just the art of that storytelling aspect to now where we're finally going to get our big one-on-one match actually Saturday. So it's going to be an interesting encounter. But man, podcasting has been an absolute, I would say it's been a treasure. I mean, even for your show as well, man, we get to do something that we didn't think was going to have a lot of meaning. But when it does come happening, it's like, wow, I really did that. Like, there's some things I still have to take a step back and go, wow, man, this is actually pretty cool. What's that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna get to
man,
work.
it's really cool to see these things.
Right. The anchor,
What's that?
the intense planning that you did to this.
Yeah, man, it was really cool. I tell people all the time, man, and I preach this
So
a
what's
lot,
going
even with the
on
guys I train with.
What's going on outside the podcast now?
What's going outside the podcast realm? Oh man. So I actually man up and had my wife on the episode last week, and that one blew as well as the 100th episode. And we spit up a lot of knowledge of what's been going on behind the scenes with everything with me in general. Obviously, you know, with my son's situation, he's now slowly getting into that recovery standpoint. He's now officially out of a halo. The goal is hopefully to have him this summer. That's been the biggest worry we've been having with this whole thing is he can come home this summer. I've been obviously getting my daughter prepared, getting graduated from VPK, which has been a real big transition. If anybody didn't hear me on commission talks, that was part of my dad rant segment. Was like, wow, man, my little girl's starting to really grow now. And I mean, I've been so blessed to be in her life, seeing those cap and gown pictures. And I mean, shout out to the people that do these pictures and stuff now, but they make these kids look from the little 5-year-old that you know they are to they look like daggone celebrities, or they look like they're in middle school with these pictures. And it just hit me. And I was just like, wow. I'm like, dang, I usually don't care for like a VPK thing, but I'm like, she's growing. And, you know, and just getting prepared for the summertime with her, my wife and stuff like that. We're getting prepared for birthday planning and all that stuff that's about to be on the process as well. My son's about to be 12. So we've been pretty busy. And I've been doing my little wrestling thing as well. So it's been a pretty busy a go around even behind the podcast.
Okay. Step back. I'm gonna give you the floor. Okay. Tell
me. You're cutting in and out. I can't even hear you.
You went quiet on me. I gave you the floor. I thought you were gonna tell everybody how to reach on socials.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. It was cutting in and out. I didn't hear anything you said. I heard something about floor. I didn't know if you were like asking me a question or something, but it cut in and out. What'd you say? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, tell everybody.
Was that? I, I didn't hear you.
Warren, how do they find you?
How they find me? You can find me on all social media handles. I mean, Facebook at Buzzing with Marlowe, Facebook at the real Buzzing with Marlowe. There's a fake one out there for some weird reason. Stay out of that one. You can find me at Warren Marlowe on Facebook. You can find me at American Prodigy, or which Facebook said that wasn't a real name, so I had to make a, a Facebook profile name called Mercer America. That's my American Prodigy profile if anybody doesn't want to know. Obviously, you can find me on Instagram, the exact same handles as well. X, I keep forgetting Twitter is not Twitter anymore, it's X. You can find me at American Prod Dig One or Buzzing with Marlowe, Buzzing with. You can find me there. Warren Marlowe. I mean, I'm on all social media handles. You can just type in Buzzing with Marlowe. I should easily pop up. Uh, I easily, respond to messages regularly. If kids want to, take things and talk about, if they're having bullying problems and stuff like that. I've actually had kids, come out and vent to me on DMs and stuff like that all the time. I'm always welcome to help kids out. I've actually helped apparently one kid out fighting cancer, and that was a different transition and stuff like that. And you've seen the whole grammar and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I definitely always for the kids, with the pro wrestling mantra myself. Um, Obviously, I tell people all the time, man, every setback makes one heck of a comeback. You can catch that on a t-shirt, go to Bonfire. You can go to my link tree. I have stores. We have 5 different options for shirts right now. I know a lot of people have been crazy over the American Prodigy shirts. We're going to get some more stuff done. I have new partnership with Redcon One. I mean, I do all supplement stuff based off of with them. I just did a big one with them. That's something I've been very proud of. You can type in the promo code Buzzing with capital B, and you can get 10% off your purchase. I mean, we've got tons of different options and stuff like that. Obviously, I've got Dubby. I mean, there's a lot of the energy drink things. I guess they like to run with you. But I've got them. It's a really cool thing to just see these transitions, and even the audio standpoint. I'm on all audio platforms: Podbean, Podchaser, Podvine, Good Pods, all Apple platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and we just got on Pandora, so you can catch us on all audio platforms as well. I know a lot of people have been requesting the episode I did last week with my wife. We got that one now on the audio platform, and that one's been doing some good followings, good listens, and it's crazy to see the growth of all handles that we've been doing. I've even put my hand into the video game realming. I got buzzing with gaming. My wife got me the new wrestling game, and I have not put a controller down lately. I tried to do the NBA game. I'm still getting used to that one. The newer ones are kind of a difficult for me. I love playing football games. I've even been playing some phone games on here as well for the Buzzing with Gaming stations. So definitely, if you are a gamer, if you like to, watch game content and stuff like that, my son came up with that idea.
Now hold on, hold on. Are you good at them?
The wrestling game, yeah. The NBA game, if you didn't watch the live stream, I got killed. I got killed in this NBA game. I was streaming.
I'm horrible at all of them.
Really? Man, I've been working hard. I tried my dangest, with my son being autistic. I tried to play that Roblox game. I could not get into it. I didn't understand it. You see me streaming with him and he's just laughing at me. I'm just getting frustrated with this game. Like, I got to the point I just like, all right, I just shut it off. I ain't never been that mad ever, and this game got me all kinds of. Oh man, I sat there and was like, bro, if there was a moment that you get
No,
sent
you
to
talk
end up
about
danger or something
retiring.
like that,
I played the
a
wrestling
game.
game, and in like 4 matches, I got retired. Career
I mean,
mode was horrible for me.
the
Like it's
craziest thing, these
greatly
advances that
time.
they do in these games and
We
stuff, it's
got
so
your
cool.
back. You know, anything you want to
Yeah.
promote, we got you.
Hey
You
man, I
know,
appreciate it, man.
I,
I appreciate it.
I'm still waiting for my T-shirt. By the way, I'm still waiting for my Marlowe T-shirt. You know, I need a large because
That's
I
right.
got the guns now. But I ain't seen my T-shirt yet.
I'm
I
gonna
ain't
have
seen my T-shirt
to send you the
yet.
link.
Plus, I
We'll have
gotta
to
come
send you
out
the
and
link.
watch you on the mat, baby.
Yeah, man, come out, man.
For
We're gonna be
sure,
at the
for
Baker
sure.
County
And
Fairgrounds this Friday at
I'll
Florida,
swap it
Baker
out one of
County,
my comedy
McLean, Florida.
T-shirts.
Hey, love it. Definitely be down for it. I
Okay,
just had a band on it. They
definitely,
were called the
definitely.
Engineered Society Project. They sent me a shirt as well, and I rocked their thing, and we actually collabed with somebody because of that shirt. So I mean, it's crazy how these things work. But yeah, man, definitely. You send me the thing, I'll hook you up. I'll hit you up.
It does. It definitely does. It definitely does. Because I just did an event called Laugh Away the Pain, and that was for cancer.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah, man. I
So
love
yeah,
doing
that's how
stuff
my
like
church
that.
came about. So yeah, I gotta
Hey,
get
man,
definitely get you one. You know, but we will rock
definitely,
that. As always, your
definitely.
family, and of course, from the bottom of my heart, man, I am a fan.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, man, this is always a blessing. I tell people all the time, man, I live by this one motivation, and I've been tested countless times this year with my son, just stuff that we have been going through with this thing. And I literally go, man, every setback makes one heck of a comeback. If you feel like something is down and it is the most toughest thing and you just can't get back up and you cannot fight back for it, man, I'm telling you now, nothing is the impossible. Nothing is the impossible. The only way it makes it possible if you make that change. And that's something I tell people all the time, man. It's about you dusting the feet off and keep moving. So, AJ, always a pleasure, man.
Mm.
Good luck to you on that comedy realm, man. I know that's got to be a transition for sure. I've had some guys from the comedy standpoint,
It's a big
and
one.
they've told me some interesting stories. But yeah, man, definitely thank you for having me
I
on,
tell
man.
you what, maybe one day I'll come on your show and I'll tell you some of the stories.
Yeah, man, we have to definitely set that up. We definitely have to get you on there for sure. I'm always down for
I'll
some
come through.
comedy talk, bro. Always down.
Absolutely, absolutely. Get with Kylie. She'll set it up.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man.
Love you,
Thank
bro.
you, AJ. Later.
Fanatics, I don't lie to y'all ever. People who rock it. You know this. So continue to like, share, subscribe. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go and hit it. You know what I'm saying? If you're on Apple, give us that 5 star. It helps you. Peace.